Hello everyone, this is me Angeline here. I'm back with an apology which will be 100% sincere. Please note that this video is not meant for getting my fans back, because I truly understand the serious and unacceptable things I did. I will admit all my wrongdoings sincerely and honestly, and I will honestly mention the ones that I did not do. First of all, I want to apologize for my terrible actions back on June 2021. I was being such a drama queen on a Discord server by arguing about Windows 11. I was acting like a woman child by being sensitive to advices. I thought copying my friend's personality was a good idea, but now I understand that it's a wrong thing to do. I will admit that I pinned the blame on my former friends for all of my messed up actions by playing the victim card. Now I realize that I did most of the terrible actions myself. Some of these messed up actions I did were false rumors about me. I am not trying to make excuses, by the way. I admit that I leaked someone's house address back in September, and it was a very big mistake to do so, and I'm sorry for that. So anyways, I also want to sincerely apologize for my terrible behavior towards Altho. I am sorry for saying that I wanted to put a face on a naked lady's body and send it to people in school. I didn't know what I was doing. I should have thought twice before saying shit like this. I also admit I leaked Altho's face on my old channel back on July 2021. This proves I was being such a bully. And Altho and Gypsy, if you both girls are watching this, I am sorry for doing fucked up shit to both of you. As for Gypsy, I am sorry for leaking your address. As for Altho, I am also very sorry for leaking your dad's name and calling it ugly. I am very sorry for doing fucked up shit like this. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. I was being such a dumbass back then for doing shit to both of you. Please note I am not denying my wrongdoings, because I'm literally telling you guys the truth. Plus, I wouldn't confess to something I never did. I also want to apologize for defending someone who joked about 9/11. I thought that Party Splasher was an innocent person, but now I realize the truth about him. Also, I'm sorry for forcing people to ignore Party Splasher. I just misunderstood about his situation, and I thought he wouldn't fuck up, but now he did. I admit that I made a sock puppet account to bash opinions on Party Splasher. I'm sorry for bashing opinions by acting like a woman child and an entitled Karen. I'm autistic and I just can't help myself. Also, you guys really need to stop using and abusing words in the wrong context. You guys really need to stop abusing words such as manipulation, because that is not what it means. Anyways, I am very sorry for misunderstanding. I didn't know that I was manipulating people to like him again. I honestly had no idea what I was doing. Again, I should have thought twice before doing anything. Honestly, I have no opinion on Party Splasher these days since he became a dead topic nowadays. Also, I admit I leaked Pinkstone's entire family's names by sending a link, which leaked over 30 people. Even though Pinkstone herself still sucks. I am truly sorry about that. I didn't know that leaking real-life names was considered doxing. I just didn't know any better than this. I learned my lesson and understand that it was very wrong of me to do so. Anyways, what I am trying to say is that I white-knighted Party Splasher on another account, not on my main. I am sorry for forcing people to ignore him. I am also sorry for leaking 30 people's names back then. I sent that link by accident. It was an accident and I didn't mean to do it on purpose. I am very sorry about doing all this. I just didn't know any better. At least it's in the past now. It's best to move on from it and let it go. Anyways, I also admit that back on late 2021 I faked serious things, such as faking cancer and being rushed to the hospital. This made me look like an omid wannabe. I am sorry for faking having cancer. I can't believe I was being very disrespectful to people who actually have cancer. I was being a clout chaser and had you all worried sick. I also admit faked almost killing myself back then by being rushed to the hospital. I did this because I was angry at the fact I keep losing support from people. Still, I should not have done that. Again, I apologize for faking serious things. I learned my lesson that it's a very wrong thing to do. I also want to apologize again to Dolphy for saying that I wanted to bully and harass her at school back in July 2021. I admit that I was going way too harsh on her. I am also sorry for making Dolphy's life a living hell by making her feel suicidal and backstabbing her way too much. Dolphy, again, if you are seeing this, I am again deeply sorry for the way I treated you. I deeply regret treating you terribly like a piece of shit. I understand if you don't want to forgive me, because I don't deserve to be trusted after the terrible shit I did to you. But still, I hope you have mercy on my soul after everything terrible I did to you. It's just that I couldn't control my anger towards you. I honestly never meant to say any of these nonsense about her, and I'm sorry for asking someone else to find Dolphy's address back then. I was not aware of what I was doing, but this time, I promise to be careful for what I do or say next time. If I would have kept quiet instead of blurting out my opinion out loud, none of this would have happened. I also want to say I'm super extremely sorry for ruining Haruka, who's also known as Itsuki's life back then on July 2021. Back on April 2021, I realized he had a crush on me. I thought he was being sexual towards me. So I admit I did sexual role plays with him on Discord, because I have hypersexuality disorders which caused me to fantasize about him. This was very disgusting and unacceptable for me to do so. I also admit that I went as far into wanting to see his dick on Discord, because again, I had sexual disorders and I couldn't help myself. I was being an Amanda Rose wannabe by being a pervert towards him. I feel extremely disappointed at myself for being a disgusting pervert. When I look at myself, I feel extremely guilty and remorseful of myself. I should have thought about it twice before I said or did any of this nasty stuff. I really wish I can take this disgusting action back. Me and him are only 10 months apart, so it necessarily is not pedophilia. But still, it does not excuse my disgusting acts towards him. I also admit I made things even worse by leaking Itsuki's nudes in public back on July 2021. I leaked them outside the DMs without even censoring them, which was very disgusting and unacceptable for me to do. I also admit I backstabbed and slandered people by inspecting Itsuki's messages. I made my former friends traumatized by framing Itsuki into backstabbing them and doing disgusting role plays on them, which caused them to feel suicidal. I find this bullshit very unacceptable and super disgusting. I feel super disappointed at myself for being a disgusting disgrace to everyone. I also apologize for being hypocritical by being sensitive to NSFW when I did NSFW myself. For those of my former friends watching this, I am very sorry for making you all traumatized by inspecting Itsuki's messages into doing disgusting role plays on you guys. Again, I just couldn't control myself and I had personality disorders, which caused me not to control myself. Still, I should have thought twice before doing this bullshit. And if you think I'm using my disorders as an excuse, think again. I am not faking them, because I will show proof later on in this video. Anyways, the reason why I did this to Itsuki is because I was very angry at him for making me cry and suicidal in the past. I was also angry at him for trolling me on late 2019. I took my anger on him way too far, which caused him to ruin his life. I am extremely super sorry for ruining Itsuki's life by taking him way too far by framing him and leaking his NSFW pics in public. Man, I feel extremely remorseful and disgusted at myself. Even though I don't care for Itsuki nowadays, since he left social media, probably he left forever. And no, I'm not glad that Itsuki left forever, because I already moved on from him and I'm ignoring him nowadays. Anyways, once again, I am extremely sorry for backstabbing and doing disgusting roleplays and threats out of my former friends. I was having sexual disorders, which I couldn't help it. By the way, I noticed that people are also accusing me of faking depression, suicidal thoughts, autism and anger issues when I clearly am not. So, I have to show a part of my medical document to prove it. My psychiatrist recently diagnosed me with 2 serious mental disorders, which caused me to act weird and perverted. I honestly never wanted to act perverted, or any of this bullshit to happen in the first place. I am truly sorry for doing bad stuff to many people. As you can see here in this document, I have 4 different mental disorders. 2 of them are very serious, which is the bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder. I also would recommend you guys to look at my disorders carefully and do some research on them. I know this still doesn't mean I can get away from my wrongdoings, but still, this needs to be heard and researched because people keep accusing me of playing the suicide card when I am not. As you can see here, according to Google, the disorders I have are extremely serious, which causes me to have constant mood swings and so many suicidal thoughts. Not to mention, I even cut myself during my hiatus because of my toxic hate base keep attacking me. If you want to see the image, the link is in the description. Please understand that showing this is not meant for getting my friends back. And I am not manipulating you guys to like me again. But people need to understand this about me because it's extremely serious, and so that people can stop accusing me of faking my issues. So anyways, let's get back into admitting my wrongdoings. So, back then, I admit I faked being a mother and faked being pregnant. I deeply apologize again for faking serious things. This proves that I was being very disrespectful to people who actually are pregnant. I am also sorry for blaming other people like Isaac, Pinkstone and many others for my wrongdoings by making excuses and playing the victim back on November 2021. By the way, people are also accusing me for being behind many sock puppet accounts, like the Almond and Jasmine accounts. I'm literally telling the truth, guys. I never made the Almond and Jasmine accounts to begin with. And no, I am not denying my wrongdoings either. I noticed that the Jasmine account back on 2020 used Bandicam. I don't even use Bandicam screen recorder because I am not a Windows user. I mostly use Mac operating system. And I am not sure if Isaac was behind the Jasmine account either. Because this time, I don't want to blame anyone else or point any more fingers. Also, just because Ahmed and Jasmine had the same grammar, that does not mean that I made it. Grammar is not enough proof to accuse someone for an alt. By the way, people also thought that I was responsible for making Brown Circle feel suicidal back on October 2021, which is not true. I did not edit Itsuki's messages to make it look like he did it. It was actually an imposter who said it. And I did not make Itsuki's imposter on Discord. I'm not even denying it either. I also noticed that Itsuki's imposter typed the same sentences as Brown Circle's imposter back on May 2021. See this screenshot. He mentioned the fact he killed his dog just for attention. It could also be possible that Purple Stone framed Itsuki all this time. Again, I don't want to point fingers at others or play the victim card. I am just stating out my explanation. I never made imposter accounts to begin with. I also have more proof that I wasn't behind Itsuki's Discord imposter. As you can see here, the art style between mine and Itsuki's imposter, it looks completely different from each other. You can see that I use PixArts to make edits for people. The Itsuki imposter used Microsoft Paint to draw his art. And plus, he used comics on his art as well. I don't even know how to draw comics on Microsoft Paint because again, I don't use Windows. And by the way, I also noticed that Itsuki's Discord imposter had the same Discord ID as Brown Circle's imposter back on mid-2021. The Discord ID is down in the description in case you want to know it. And I even have proof that I did not make imposter accounts here. Anyways, I also want to apologize for acting like a ridiculous spoiled brat back on November 2021, for playing the victim card once more. It's just that I could not handle my drama anymore and it was getting out of hand. I'm also again sorry for constantly blaming others for my actions instead of myself. I now realize that I brought this all upon myself, nobody else. Also, back in late November 2021, I admit I made Brown Circle feel suicidal by leaking his romantic relationship with his girlfriend in public. I also had a crush on him that time when he hated me, which proves that I was stalking him. Brown Circle, if you are watching this, I am extremely sorry for making you feel suicidal. It's just that I never knew your relationship was meant to be a secret. Someone who I won't mention told me about your relationship and I got very angry after I heard about it. And Brown Circle, I am also very sorry for backstabbing you as well. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I just didn't know any better. So yeah, that is all I have to say for now about my wrongdoings. For all of my victims and former friends watching this, I am extremely very sorry for all the damages I have caused throughout 2021. I promise I will improve myself to be a better person. And I promise to be careful next time with all of my actions, and from now on, I will always think twice before I act. From now on, I will keep my thoughts to myself. And I also promise to control my anger towards people I hate. I promise not to take my opinions way to the extreme, and I will never wish death upon people I hate ever again. I will never ever take people I hate to the extreme ever again. I am now 16 years old, and I gotta learn how to act like my own age without any excuses. I hope all of you guys can have mercy on my soul and forgive me. I'm not forcing you guys to like me again. You guys can either accept or deny this apology if you want to. It's your choice. Anyways, with that being said, this is me signing off. Bye guys, I hope to see you next time.